Dear Senior 5 student, welcome to our learning activity during this lockdown. Today we are going to discuss the Unit 14. Unit 14, which is all about the behavior and the responses of animals. Behavior and responses of animals. The behavior as the internally directed system of adaptive activities that facilitate survival and reproduction. The animals, to survive, they have the behavior. They can run, they can fear, they can fight. So all this, they are the behavior. What is the purpose of that? It is to make them surviving, and it can also allow them to reproduce. The animals, they are behaving. People can like to know how do they behave. That time they can make the study which we call ethology. Ethology is the biological study of the behavior of animals. So the behavior, they are categorized. We have got two types of behavior. We have what we call innate behavior, and we have also the learned behavior. So the innate, when we say innate, that means the behavior which is inherited. It is the behavior which we have it genetically. So we don't need to learn. It is there. It is natural. It is automatic. Nobody can learn how to breathe. Reflex action is one of the examples of the behavior. If you touch on a given pin, you touch on the pin, you feel pain. What do? Now you see there we have a pin coming on our skin. We have got the receptors which can feel that it is painful. The impulse goes to the central nervous system, which is the spinal cord, then via the sensory neuron. Then from there we have a relay neuron, which is already inside the spinal cord. The relay neuron will change the information, and it will make now the the motor impulse, which will be transported through the motor neuron, and this one will take it to the effector. Our effector here is the muscle. You remove your hand, so that is automatic. Even a newborn knows that if he touches something which is harmful, he has to remove the hand or the body. That is the first example of innate behavior. We can take another example of innate behavior is what we call the fight or flight response. Fight or flight response. That means you see something, it is very dangerous, and this time you have just two reactions, whether you have to run or you have to fight. Can you imagine somebody meeting in the bush like a bear? You find a bear, you find a lion. What can you do? So look at the reaction of this man. He has met the bear, the black bear, and then what does he do? You can see the bunny becomes very strong, very powerful. He's rushing, he's running, and by that time, you see there is the part of the hypothalamus which is activating the sympathetic nerve or sympathetic nervous system, and by that time there will be some mediator which comes in the body, and then the adrenal gland will release what we call epinephrine or adrenaline, and by that time the heart is beating very fast, but the stomach does not beat or does not feel any sense of hunger. So it contracts slowly because of the fear. So when somebody is under fear, he can display the energy which we never know where it comes from. That is some of the examples of innate behavior. Let's focus now on the learned behavior, something we should learn. And one of the examples of this learned behavior, the first one is what we call the habituation. Habituation. What do we understand by habituation? The habituation is a response to a stimulus which we were considering to be dangerous, but now we find it is not dangerous. That becomes habituation. Take the example of this crow and look at the scare. The scare is there. It looks like a man. And then the crows, the birds, they have been passing around, but slow by slow they realize that no, this is just a scare. There is nothing. Then you see how they undermine it. They come and even they lie on the scare. So that is a kind of habituation. So another kind of learning which you can find is what we call imprinting. Imprinting, what is it? It is a kind of learning by the social relationship. You are living with some individuals, and slow by slow you learn what they are doing, and it becomes imprinted or implemented in you. Now take the example of this duckling. The duckling, what do? They are seeing their mother duck moving ahead. They don't know where they are doing, where they are going, and slow by slow they find themselves also they are able to move like their mother. So that is the learning behavior by imprinting. We can find another important types of learning is what now we call the conditioned learning. Conditioning learning. The condition, as the word says, the organism is put in some condition, in some environment, such as it has now to learn. We can take the example of this man known as Pavlov. What did Pavlov do? Mr. Pavlov has been rearing animals, and he has done an experiment. Look here at the beginning. He has been giving to his dog some food. And when the dog could see the dish of food, it was making a behavior. It has been salivating. Then later, Mr. Pavlov, he said, I'm going to ring the bell, and I see if the dog will salivate. You see, the second step, there is no salivation. But now he says, okay, I will give the meat, I will give the food, and at the same time, I will ring my bell. So, by that time, there is food, there is the bell, and we see the dog is salivating. Finally, what does he do? When these animals, they get used to the bell, they associate the bell to the meat. Now, Mr. Pavlov could just ring the bell without having the meat or the food, but the dog is salivating. That is another way of learning. We learn in condition. We associate something with the reward or the punishment. You fear the punishment, or you work for the reward. That is very important. Even when we are learning at the school, that's why we give the report form. That's why we blame people who don't perform well, so that they can have the conditioning learning. So after speaking about this learning, let's say the animals, they have also the social behavior. What are their social behavior? The behavior they have in their group when they are together, they have different behavior. Sometimes we'll see them, they have what we call the social communication. They have social communication. Animals among themselves, they have social communication. They can cry to show that they are happy, to show that they are they are scared, or they are annoyed. So they can have a kind of a social communication. They have a social communication. You can see a dog when it is still in your fence, it has the way it puts the tail. But when it goes far away, far from you, it puts the legs, the tail between the legs to say, this is not my area. It is scared. Apart from the social communication, they can have also what we call the altruism. Altruism is when an animal is giving its energy in order to assist others. If an animal falls down or it is attacked, you can see that all other dogs, all other animals, they come to move around, to struggle in order to assist their friends which is in danger. We can also find another social communication, we call it the courtship. There they show that they are ready for mating. We have also what we call the territoriality. It is when the animal want to show this is the area which belongs to it. If a dog is living in a given fence, that is its area. And when others come, first of all, it can start crawling, showing that no, don't come, don't touch. This is my area where I get my food, where I get all my pleasure. So that is territoriality. And sometimes they show aggressive behavior in order to defend their area. So, apart from the territoriality, we have also what we call the dominance hierarchy, where animals, when they are in the group, they know these are the elder, these are the stronger, so I am below this, and this one, they are under me. So the stronger can dominate over the small, and this one, they will dominate over others. There is a kind of hierarchy among the animals. So aggressive behavior, I was saying, can be displayed by some animals to defend their area. Look at this dog. When another one has come, is showing this is dangerous. If you try, I am ready to bite you. Look also this cat. A cat, the white black, has found another one coming, and he says, what do you come to do? So there they have got a kind of ritualized aggressivity. So they are aggressive, then each one want to fight, and that is in order to defend their area of living.